He was the first assassin we ever met, a man of few words, hidden in a white hood, his blade flashing like a whisper of death. But Altaïr Ibn-La'Ahad was not the noble master we imagined him to be. He was arrogant, he was reckless, and his greatest enemy wasn't the Templars, it was himself. This is the story of the man who built the Creed, the assassin who became a legend, and the legend who became a warning. Altaïr was born in 1165 in the mountains of Syria, the son of a Christian mother and a Muslim father. Both were taken from him early. His mother died in childbirth, and when he was 11, he watched his father executed during a siege. The Brotherhood of Assassins became his family, and its fortress at Maif, his home. Trained by his mentor Al-Mulem, Altaïr became the youngest master assassin in history, just at 24 years old. But Altaïr wasn't just skilled, he was cocky. He believed that the Creed's rules didn't apply to him, and that arrogance would cost him everything. In 1191, Altaïr and his allies, Malik and Kador, were sent to recover an artifact from Solomon's temple, a piece of Eden. Instead of following the plan, Altaïr charged in headfirst, breaking all 3 tenets of the Creed. The result? Kador was killed, Malik lost his arm, and the artifact fell into the Templar hands. When Robert de Sable, Grand Master of the Templars, attacked Maif soon after, Altaïr defended the fortress, but his failure was undeniable. Al-Mulem's judgment was harsh. Altaïr was stripped of his rank, his weapons, and his pride. The former master assassin was forced to start again as nothing more than a novice. To regain his honor, Altaïr was tasked with eliminating 9 Templar conspirators across Damascus, Arche, and Jerusalem. At first, these assassinations were just jobs, checklists to earn back status. But something changed. Each dying Templar whispered a confession. "You seek peace, assassin. We simply use control to achieve it." These words rattled Altaïr. Were the Templars really just villains? Or were they pursuing the same goal, just with wrong methods? As he listened, Altaïr's arrogance began to fade. He started to learn patience, subtlety, and the why behind every kill. By the time he struck down his final target, Robert de Sable himself, Altaïr, had regained not just his weapons, but his humility. Robert's last words changed everything. The true traitor wasn't Templar, it was Al-Mulem. Returning to Maif, Altaïr discovered that his mentor had been using the Apple of Eden, the artifact from Solomon's temple, to enslave minds. In a surreal showdown of illusion and deceit, Altaïr killed Al-Mulem, taking the apple for himself. For the first time, the young assassin understood the true meaning of the Creed. Nothing is true, everything is permitted. It's not a call to chaos, but a reminder to question everything, even your leaders. Altaïr became mentor of the Levantine assassins, determined to lead differently. Altaïr's leadership reshaped the assassins. He abolished outdated traditions, like the ritual of cutting off a finger for a hidden blade. He innovated, creating tools like smoke bombs, poison blades, and even the first hidden firearm, inventions that would define the Brotherhood for centuries. But Altaïr's greatest legacy was his Codex, a series of writings blended with philosophy and engineering, laying out the very principles of the Creed. Centuries later, Ezio Auditore would discover these pages and build on Altaïr's wisdom. Altaïr's life wasn't just about battle and doctrine. In Cyprus, while dismantling the last of the Templar order, he met Maria Thorpe, a former Templar turned ally. Their relationship began in conflict, but grew into respect, and eventually love. Together, they had 2 sons, Darum and Sif. And for a time, Altaïr found something he had never known: peace. But that peace was shattered with betrayal from within. Altaïr's old rival, Abbas Sofan, staged a coup. Sif was murdered, Malik, Altaïr's loyal friend, was executed, and in the chaos, Maria was fatally wounded. Grief-stricken, Altaïr fled Malis with his eldest son Darum, taking the Apple of Eden with him. He spent years in self-imposed exile, consumed by sorrow and the burden of knowledge. In 1247, at 82 years old, Altaïr returned to Maif. He was older, slower, but wiser than ever. With Darum and a small band of loyal assassins, he retook the fortress from Abbas without unnecessary bloodshed. Altaïr's victory wasn't just physical, it was moral. He refused to become the tyrant that his enemies had been. Instead of ruling with fear, he prepared the Brotherhood for a future beyond himself. Altaïr entrusted his Codex and his memory seals, recordings of his life, to the Vietnam explorer Nicolò Polo. He knew that one day someone would need these teachings. Finally, Altaïr sealed himself in a hidden library beneath Maif, locking away the Apple of Eden. Sitting in a wooden chair, the old assassin closed his eyes and passed away at 92 years old, leaving behind not treasure, but truth. Centuries later, Ezio Auditore would find Altaïr's remains in the Assassin's Creed Revelations novelization. Ezio, humbled by Altaïr's life, left the apple there, recognizing that some power is too great to wield. Altaïr's story is one of transformation. He began as a cold, arrogant killer, but through failure and reflection, he became a philosopher, a reformer, and a true mentor. Every assassin who came after Ezio, Connor, Arno, Bayek, walks in Altaïr's shadow. His innovations, his teachings, and his understanding of freedom are the pillars of the Brotherhood. Ezio was the charismatic face of the franchise, but Altaïr was its soul. Ezio inherited a Brotherhood Altaïr had rebuilt from the ground up. Without Altaïr, there would be no Creed as we know it. Altaïr Ibn-La'Ahad, the son of no one, became a mentor of all. His life reminds us that the pursuit of knowledge is as dangerous as it is powerful, and that freedom means nothing if we do not question the world around us. As Ezio whispered over Altaïr's resting place, "Recorrezat in pace, mentor." Thank you so much for joining me in this new episode of Pixel and Plot, and I will see you guys in the next episode.